I think the game of the round, perhaps the season, was certainly Saturday night at the MCG with Geelong just holding on to Pip Collingwood. It was a game that you would expect in September, and there were so many threads to emanate from that match, Kane. But you want to pick up a thread when it comes to Nick Daicos, a blueprint perhaps to quell his influence.
Well, I just think so many teams give up, okay? So he's had 25 at three-quarter time and a significant influence on the game. Now, I think Geelong was 7 points down at three-quarter time, and you can go, okay, we need to win this game of footy. We're going to drop the tag. And Mullen had done a pretty admirable job, but Nick was still having an influence. But they didn't. This is why Chris Scott's the best. He goes, no. If anyone's going to win it for Collingwood, it's going to be that man, Nick Daicos. So we'll hold the tag. And we'll hold him to 3 touches and 1 kick in the last term, 1 free kick against, and a 50-metre penalty. And you can see how frustrated he was. So one of the biggest myths in football is that you can't tag Nick Daicos, or that you can't tag anyone, or that someone is too good to tag. It is absolute rubbish. Yes, there are players that deal with it better, and Nick is at the level now where he's dealing with it really well. But I reckon if Chris Scott had said, let's drop the tag, let's go more offensive through the midfield in the last quarter, he probably has 10 or 12 and wins the game for Collingwood. So I thought, once again, outstanding coaching, outstanding role played by Mullen to see the job through for 4 quarters. And I reckon, along with Dangerfield for Geelong, he's their version of that type of match winner. The story would have been different if they had have dropped the tag.
Bailey Smith may say, hold my beer, because he's also been excellent for the Cats, Kane. And I think he's mounting a recruit probably as the best recruit of the year. There's always a bit of a byplay, though, when it comes to Bailey, isn't there? A bit of controversy, and we saw this post-match. He took a bit of a swipe at his former team. It's erupted in a war of words, and it adds some extra spice to the round 11 clash between the Cats and the Dogs.
How good is it? 82,000 versus Collingwood on a Saturday night at the G. How good's that?
It's beautiful, mate. Not getting that at Ballarat, so.
I mean, it's nice to know, we're still on Bailey's mind. He's still thinking about us, even at another team. And, in the end, there's probably a few less people down in Ballarat for him to flip the bird to. So maybe that's why he's a little bit disappointed.
So
and there we go.
Well, how good is it? Do you love it, though? Like, do you have an issue with any of that?
Oh, no, because if you talk the talk, you've got to walk the walk. And at the moment, you cannot criticise Bailey Smith for what he's putting out there. The only thing I would say is, Bailey, you've given Luke Beveridge 3 weeks to come up with a plan as to how to quell your influence. And my word, he'll be doing that, don't you think, Kane?
Yeah, well, he might be, but Bailey Smith's been incredible at putting himself out there and backing it up with his performance. I think he sort of thrives on putting himself under that level of pressure, but there is no harm done in that whatsoever. And we have booed players that have left their club and gone to another club for 100 years, and we will continue to do that. So he's must watch. He's must listen to every time there is a microphone in front of him. That's why the host broadcaster, whoever it is, rushes to him after every game and puts one in front of him. And I think he's doing a really good job of building more eyeballs that are following footy. And Marcus Bontempelli was a great response. And then we stay tuned for round 11, isn't it, on a Thursday night down in Geelong, which is going to be must watch again.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.